Do you ever feel like you're no good at sales, like you get all tongue-tied, or you don't know how to overcome objections? You just don't know what to say, or maybe you just feel slimy. Well, you are in the right place because today we have a very, very special treat. We've got Leila Colgan here, who is a $65 million plus B2B salesperson. She's the author of her brand new book, Level Up Your Sales. And she's also a top network marketer and a top recruiter in network marketing. So today we're going to talk about that sales shift from pushy to powerful. Lila, welcome over to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And it's really wonderful to see so many of you. I recognize a lot of you. So it's fun to always be on a call where I notice people. So I will, let me limit this here. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about my story real quick. And what brought me to this is that I've had over 20 years in sales experience in not only Fortune 500 companies, but small startups. And as Gloria mentioned, network marketing as well. I've generated over 65 million in B2B sales. I have literally come into territories that were at the bottom of the country and flipped them to top performing territories. I've won over 31 national awards. I've lost count by now. And why I'm here is because I used to think I wasn't anything different than anybody else. And I was told by an executive early in my career that I need to figure out what I do and be able to teach it. And I kind of blew it off because I thought it was just something nice that he was saying to me. And then it wasn't until years later that I literally had another executive that basically smacked me in the eyes and said, Leila, you've got to figure out what you do and teach this to people. And so that's what I did is I came up with these 5 steps. I sat down and I thought about it. Like, what do I do when if I walk into like a territory, I walk into a sales thing, what do I do? What do I specifically do? And what I came up with is these 5 S's, which is now a trademark as well. So it's basically 5 S's, right? The 5 S's of shift, which has to do with your mindset. Strategize, which I find the number one thing people completely forget when it comes to sales. Sell, seal, and then serve your customers, because you all know that people love to buy from people that they trust, right? So when we talk about shift, this is the thing that I find very, very interesting. I find a lot of times that people, if they're going into a sales call and they're thinking about what they are selling, from how can I get this person to say yes, instead of how you are serving the person. This is the number one thing I see that people do wrong when it comes to their mindset, because they're walking in thinking, how am I going to sell this person, instead of how am I going to serve this person? And it's a complete different change, right? It goes from transaction thinking to a relationship selling. Like, everything builds upon the connection. And if you don't worry about having to sell something right away, trust me, the sale will come. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but it will come, because you're not thinking about yourself, right? You're thinking about the service. And I hear people all the time that they're like, a lot of times I've had people in network marketing even say to me that they're like afraid to sell or afraid to ask somebody. And I always am curious why people are afraid, because what's the worst thing somebody could say to you? No, right? So, and what is that going to do? That's not going to hurt you. That's going to just a flick off your skin. You move on to the next person until somebody's going to say yes, right? But if you go from not thinking about yourself having to go into a call, but you're thinking about the person, you're creating that curiosity where they're now going to want to ask you questions and learn from you. And you're going from a short-term sell to sometimes a long-term sell. And then we get into the strategy, right? Strategy to me is the number one thing that I see people missing altogether. They go from a sales aid or a script to okay, I got to go sell now. But nobody ever stops and plans. And every person is an individual person that you're selling to, right? They're completely different. You may think they're all the same and that everybody wants collagen or everybody wants to lose weight or everybody wants it, but they really don't, right? So I always tell people to take your time to plan before you exit and go to sell. And that involves deep research, right? Understanding their background. What are their challenges? What are their goals? How do they like to communicate? Do they like to be messaged on Messenger? Do they like a text message? Do they like in person? Do they like a phone call? Right? These are all things that you should ask and find out about the person that you're selling to. Also, who is influencing their decision? Is there somebody else? Like, is there another business partner? Is there a spouse? Is there somebody else that's going to help them make the decision on what they're going to buy? And also, you have to find out what they value, right? What is important to them so that you can then customize your approach and tailor your message to them, and understanding that one size fits none, right? The more you customize, the more effective you will become in understanding your individual person. Then next we come with the sell, right? This is something that's very interesting. If you're in person, one of the things that I find a lot of times that happen with representatives and stuff like that is they talk too much, right? I always say that the person who talks more is the person that wins. And so you want that to be your customer, right? So you want that to be your prospect who's asking you questions, who's talking to you more. And ask questions that matter, right? Go beyond the surface level. You're not just having a conversation with somebody about something you sell. You're trying to find out much more about that person. And we always talk about like how stories, stories sell. It really is true, right? It's not about the statistics. You can talk all the time about different things, but if you share different stories, it's going to help. And also, what I always say is be authentic, right? The problem with a lot of sales courses, a lot of sales scripts is, I don't know if you ever find this, but I know that I always found this, is that I always felt icky. Like I felt like something was off because it wasn't me selling, right? And that's because you're reading the script and it's not you. And then people go, oh, well, just go ahead and personalize it. But then it's still not you, right? Just be you and be authentic. And what does this look like? So it's something like, instead of, let me tell you about our amazing features, try based on what you shared about whatever, right? That's something that you've pulled out of your conversation that you've already had with them. Here's what I have that I think could address that, right? And what I always say is follow through on your commitments, your 24-hour or 48-hour rule. I have this rule always. First of all, never say something that you don't know, right? If you don't know the answer to something, don't make it up. And if you don't know the answer, say, you know what, that's a great question, but I'll get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. And even if you don't have the answer, you still follow up and say, you know what, I just want you to know I'm still working on that answer and I'm going to get to you. Because why? Because that builds credibility with you, people that are going to trust you more. Now you get into the seal. This is exciting because I have trademarked my seal, my closing strategy that I do, right? I have within this seal, which is trademarked, is the real close, right? So when I say seal, it stands for solve first, right? You always lead with their needs, not your agenda. And then you engage with the real close, which is my proprietary relationship-driven closing method, which basically goes something like this. And I teach this, in my course, right? So basically you're going to remember the details, right? So anything personal, professional details that matter to them. Then you're going to engage them, ask thoughtful questions that keep them talking, right? It's not about you, it's about them. You're trying to pull more information about them. And then this is the part that's always really important that a lot of people skip. And that's affirming, right? So when somebody's saying to you, a lot of times when people sell, what I find is they're always thinking about the next thing that they have to say. They're pseudo listening to the person, but they're not really listening. If you were really listening to the person, this is where this really helps, because you say, hey, Gloria, I understand you said that you had this issue with this. Am I hearing you correctly? Is that what you said? And you want the person to say yes, or they may say, no, this is what I really meant, because this is where we go a lot of times wrong in selling, is because we go with our assumption instead of what we can affirm what the person has just told us, right? So we need to make sure that we affirm that with them and hear them back of what they just said. And then you reconfirm their alignment before you move forward. And now you can ask with confidence. Now you've earned the right to close because you've gone through the steps, you've heard what they had to say, and now you can close. And then you just listen and learn to improve on your next time when you have a call, right? Closing feels like a natural step in the relationship, not a confrontation, right? You're not trying to force them to buy something or sell them. And then when you've closed them, the business has only started now, right? You now have to serve them, which means you follow through on all your commitments. Your word becomes your brand. You become their advocate when they get cranky and something is not working right. You need to be there for them to fight for their success. Gloria is awesome at this, right? Like there's so many companies I've worked with her that she fights for people all the time, right? Add continuous value all the time, share insights, make connections, celebrate wins with people, and then support their growth, right? Help them achieve goals beyond what you provide. And what does this do? This creates a multiplication effect, right? Clients will become your advocates who will refer you to others. Your reputation precedes you in new opportunities. You build sustainable business instead of constantly prospecting, and people seek you out instead of chasing them. I have a great example of this. I literally had a doctor reach out to me. I haven't called on him for 3 years, and he text messaged me and said, "Do you know who my new rep is?" And I didn't know. And he was struggling, needed something. And I said, "Well, how about if I make a connection with the medical director for you," which is the person who would be that person's boss, right? And so I called the guy. He was like, now remind you, I have no business having to serve this person anymore, right? He was my customer 3 years ago. I picked up the phone. I called the medical director who was on the East Coast. It was 8 p.m. his time. I said, "I have a doctor who just texted me. It's 5 p.m. Pacific time. Are you available to talk to him by any chance right now on a three-way call?" He said, "Yeah, sure." And I asked the doctor, I said, "Are you available on a three-way call?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." I connected him. We had a phone conversation for 40 minutes. Now, mind you, I had nothing to do with that. I don't make any money from that. I don't make any sale from that. But what is that going to do? That is going to have that doctor always remember who I was. I got thanked from the company. I got thanked from the doctor. And he'll always know that he can always reach out to me and I'm going to help him, right? Serving is not about you and always making money, because service will always come back to you when you take care of people. So how do these steps work together? Well, it's a compound effect, right? Your shift creates the right mindset. You strategize to ensure you approach each person effectively. The sell will build the trust that's necessary for natural progression. The seal will seal the deal, right? It feels effortless because now you've earned that right to close. And you serve, which creates a foundation of customers that keep coming back to you year after year because they remember how you took care of them, right? And while other people are chasing like quick fixes and techniques and tactics, you are building this relationship that's going to last a lifetime. So here's some things that you can do for yourself, right? Think about some things you could do yourself, right? Apply shift. Think about serving one person more today that you have had a conversation with. Get to know them, right? Strategize, research on them. What is something that's very important to them in their relationship? Practice to sell, right? Use authentic connection in your next presentation. And then close with confidence through service, right? Not expecting anything in return, but to close with confidence. And then follow up within the 24 to 48 hours to see if there's anything else that they needed from you. Now, I have some resources here that we'll talk about later too, but like Gloria mentioned, my book is coming out at the end of this month sometime. I wrote a book about this that you can get, you can learn more about. I actually have a school that I have some free things that I offer from in my school as well. And what I have is my new app that's coming up that I really want to share with you right now, which is called Heartcell. This is not available yet, but I wanted to use Gloria as a demo for this, right? And this will walk you through my whole sales process. Imagine you having a conversation with even Gloria, right? Like you're about to approach her, but you're scared to death, or you're not sure exactly what to say or how to prepare. This app is going to prepare you for any sales call, right? So I'll just tell you, when I did this, I did not put a lot of information on here, but it basically has here, what are you selling? And for this demo sake, I just said a collagen, right? I didn't put anything special here. And what is your typical communication style? There's drop downs, and I said friendly or whatever that I put in here. Who's the person? I said Gloria. I copied her URL. Now, I did not copy her LinkedIn profile. I copied her Facebook linked profile in here. What do you already know about them? And I said, all I said was that she's happy with her current collagen. And I said, are you aware of any potential objections? And I said, I'm sure she probably doesn't want to switch, right? And then I said, when is your sales call? I said, it's next week. And that's all I put in here, but you could go more granular in here. But what I want to show you is what blew my mind even. So these are screenshots that come to you in sections, right? So this tells you how to prepare your mindset for that call. Acknowledge Gloria's satisfaction. Gloria is happy with her current collagen project. My intention is to understand her needs and offer value. Release your limiting beliefs. What am I afraid of on this call? Visualize connection. See yourself having a relaxed, casual conversation with Gloria, right? And during your call, remember, listen deeply, focus intently on what Gloria is saying. Stay curious and casual, ask open-ended questions, right? Offer value, not pressure. Share information about your collagen product. After your call, key takeaway, what did I learn about Gloria's needs? Follow-up value, how can I follow up with Gloria, right? So these are all different things that you can prepare for the call. Then this kind of blew my mind, right? When all I did was put Gloria's Facebook link in, and it said that her name was Gloria, that she's the founder of Life Alchemy, that she's happy with her current collagen product because I put that in there, remember? And what does she do? She focuses on helping network and affiliate marketers create passive income streams, which is accurate. And then it said, what matters to them? So her top priority is creating and teaching passive income strategies for network marketers. Her second priority is finding reliable and effective tools for online business building. And her third priority is helping others achieve financial freedom through multiple income streams. I think that's pretty accurate for Gloria, wouldn't you say? So what it does is it says, what you want to do is acknowledge her expertise in passive income and network marketing streams. Don't directly criticize her current choice or pressure her to switch immediately, and offer a sample or a trial of your collagen, right? Then this goes into defining your call goals and questions. So there's specific client goals: build trust, show respect for Gloria's time and expertise, understand her needs, learn about her current health and wellness routine, explore the fit, determine if your collagen offers a genuine enhancement to her or her team. Ask open-ended questions to build connection, to understand her current state, to find opportunity. And then it tells you here, keep it simple, listen more than you talk, follow their lead, not your script. If they seem rushed, offer to follow up later. Now, then it goes into tailoring your message and position offer, right? So introduction. So pretend you don't know Gloria, but remember, how many times do network marketers get caught up in, what do I say? What do I say to this person, right? Well, it says here, hi, Gloria, it's Leila calling. I know you're busy, so I'll be brief. I've been following your work in network marketing, and I'm so impressed in how you're helping people build passive income streams. I understand you're already using a collagen product you're happy with, and I respect that, right? And then it tells you her pain points. Many entrepreneurs in the health and wellness find it challenging to constantly innovate and offer fresh value to their networks. It can be tough to find products that genuinely enhance their existing routines and provide a unique selling proposition. We offer a collagen product with whatever benefits, right? It could greatly add another income stream for you. It could potentially boost energy or improve overall well-being, which could align with your brand. I was thinking that could be a great way to enhance your existing health and wellness routine. Would you be open to a quick chat next week about our collagen? Could potentially complement what you already are doing, right? So this literally will give you ideas how to talk to Gloria. Now, this kind of blew my mind too, because all I said was that she was happy with her current collagen, right? So the very first objection response, it says, I'm happy with my current collagen. That's the one that I put in there, right? And then it said, that's fantastic, Gloria. It's great. You found something that works for you. I'm not necessarily suggesting that you switch, but I was curious if you'd be open to exploring how our collagen could complement what you're already using or potentially offer a new income stream for your network. And then it gives you two other objections that she may have. It just assumes, knowing Gloria, right, what objections that could come up and how you can respond to them, right? And then would you be open to a 15-minute brief call? And based on what we discussed, would you be interested in receiving a sample of our collagen to try for yourself? So can you imagine having something that just like per person that you're, before you even talk to somebody, you're like already like feeling powerful, having something to help you answer the close. And then it walks you through my trademark close, right? Gloria, from what I gathered, you're seeing great results with your current collagen, which is fantastic. Many people in your network marketing space are always looking for ways to optimize their health and wellness routines. Our collagen could offer whatever benefits to enhance energy or different delivery method. Then it goes through my close, right? Remember her details. Gloria, I know you're focused on building passive income streams and helping others achieve financial freedom. What's most important to you when evaluating a new product to potentially offer your network? So if I understand you correctly, now see, here's that the affirming, you're making sure you heard Gloria correctly. So if I understand you correctly, you're currently looking for a product that not only delivers results, but also aligns with your values and helping others achieve financial freedom and wellness. If she says yes, great. If she says no, then you need to make sure you understand her, right? So based on what you've shared, it sounds like a key consideration for you would be how this collagen could potentially enhance your existing offerings and provide a unique value proposition for your network. Is that right? And then she will say yes or no. And then now you've asked for confidence. Now you've earned that right to close, right? How valuable would having a collagen with these benefits be for your network, especially considering their focus on your health and wellness as an entrepreneur success? Now you've earned the right to close because you've asked her questions, you've affirmed if you've got them correct, and now you can close and you can learn and improve on these things, right? So, and then it gives you a personal touch or follow-up that you can send Gloria when you're done as an email. It gives you the template. Thank you for your time today. As discussed today, here's the follow-up from our meeting today. And then it gives you an option to pick one of these as a personal touch option to add to your follow-up. Like, I appreciated your insights on building passive income streams. I was thinking of what you said regarding the importance of energy for your entrepreneurs. Like, you pick, right, that you can add this as a personal touch or a follow-up plan. And then if there's no response, you just send a brief value add message, 1 week later. It basically tells you everything to do with your customer. And then this is the final thing that it gives you at the end. It tells you that you've completed the approach and that you are on your journey to being very, very successful. And if you want more information to fill out this application. So I was trying to get this in 30 minutes. I think I did. So if you want to get on the wait list of my book on Heartcell, you can go to levelupyoursalesbook.com, or you can scan it here. And as my app is coming out soon, so you can go ahead and scan this app as well and get on the wait list for that. And I'm going to stop now and happy to answer any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Leila. Really, really, really appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions for Leila? All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to thank everyone so much for coming. And guys, I know a lot of you are already aware of my Digital Marketers Success Network. But for those of you who aren't, if you want access to more great training like this, access to more experts like Leila, then I want to encourage you to check out the Digital Marketers Success Network. You can go to gloriamacdonald.com/DMSN. That's Digital Marketers Success Network. We'll have information in the Digital Marketer Success Network about Lila's book and how you can get it and how you can get Lila's app, for anyone who missed that. And we don't just do training on things like sales, but we do training on social media, on AI, tons and tons of stuff on AI. We have a weekly call on AI and so much more. So again, go to gloriamacdonald.com/DMSN, and whoever invited you to this call, you'll be automatically connected to them with that link. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, everyone.